and changing that yelling and screaming at each other to more of a tone of how can we improve and help each other understand what the rules are. But then when we asked everyone, what do you really expect from our kids? What do you expect from our staff? Well, everyone could remember the 4 things. And we put it in the acronym for CAR. Being caring person, to care for each other. To be academically involved. That means teachers teaching, students learning. And then to be able to be respectful to each other, because we have all of these countries that are represented. We have 75 different countries represented here. And we can always find the diversity. And we could always find the differences, but we wanted a common ground.
So not only did we have to change the students' behavior to follow those expectations, be safe, be respectful, and responsible, but also the teachers we had to change our behavior too, in the way that we interacted with the children and become more positive. Because now instead of just looking for, you can't do this, you can't do that, you're bringing out that, wow, you're really being respectful, wow, you're really being responsible, wow, you're really being safe.
As a teacher, this is my 30th year, and when PBS became our buzzword for the way we're going to take care of discipline, I kind of rolled my eyes and said, oh, here we go again, because I remember assertive discipline, and I remember this or that or the other program that was the way to go. So I was a little skeptical. And through the past couple of years, I've changed my attitude towards PBS. A couple of the things that I really like about it are the reward systems for students who don't cause trouble. The 80% of kids that come to school every day and do their work, they now feel they're important, and that's great as far as I'm concerned.
We just simply can't do this work one kid at a time. We have many kids coming to our neighborhood schools from different backgrounds, some that are ready to learn, some that are not, and so we recognize that there just are better ways to do things. We've taken some of the best ideas from special education and from Effective Schools research, and we realize we can make consistent environments for kids that are predictable and where kids know the expectations, where we're able to reward kids for meeting those expectations, and we've just had amazing results.
We had 100% of our staff, when we did our initial vote, say that this is something that they felt was important and that they wanted to do. We have new staff members who've come each year that we've been at Monroe, and they have had good buy-in, because it's almost embarrassing. This is very logical. It makes total sense. What makes more sense than saying that you need to teach a child something before you expect them to do it? And what makes more sense than to say that if you've got 500 and some odd children in a building, that we're going to have more success with them if we're all speaking the same language? It's a hard concept to argue with.
When we put this school-wide instruction in place, school-wide language, we have discovered that about 80% of the students in typical schools respond really well to that. We can prevent a lot of behavior problems and improve the behavior and get some really nice outcomes for children. There's still work to do with another 15 or 20% of the students with individual interventions and with specific, sometimes, placements for kids, but we can prevent a lot of behavior problems. When we're all speaking the same language, it's really powerful.
Myself and others. I will care for myself and others. I will care for property.
I will be safe.
I will do my best.
I will do my best.
I will build community.
Good morning, boys and girls.
Good morning, Mrs. Rowling.
Respect, responsibility, citizenship, and caring.
Our Cougar traits are respect, responsibility, caring, and citizenship.
Responsibility, respect, citizenship, and caring.
Respect, responsibility, caring, and citizenship.
Be safe, be respectful, and be responsible. Mantente seguro, mantente respetuoso y mantente responsable.
At Monroe, we are people of character. We are respectful. We are responsible. We care.
We are people of character. We are respectful. We are responsible. We care. We are respectful. We are responsible. We care. You're not respectful. You gonna not make the right choices. You should make the right choices, and you'll live a better life.
Be safe. Be respectful. Be responsible. Dragon power. Mantente seguro. Mantente responsable. Mantente respetuoso. Elena Dragón.
Well, it's impacted my daughter a lot. My daughter she's been diagnosed with ADHD, and I think knowing that she has rules at school has helped her tremendously. Even at home, I was mentioning to Mrs. Botica that my father and her are like dragon power, and they he just to see if she knows it, and she'll start, be safe, and he'll repeat it. So now at home, that's like something to my dad. He's like, well, she's acting up, let me try this. And he starts saying, be safe, be respectful. And she's like, and then sometimes just to throw her off, he'll say a different word. He's like, that's not it, Grandpa, it's this one. So
one thing that Cougar Traits has established for our middle school is a common language for all the kids to understand. They know what we expect, when we expect it, and what those expectations are wherever they move throughout the building. Without these, we had numerous problems with kids in the hallway pushing and shoving in the bathroom, writing on walls, common middle school things. But since we've established the Cougar Traits, those things have seemed to have taken a back seat, and education has become more of a priority.
Once we identified the problem areas, we had to come up with a method for solving the problems. Teachers told us specifically the idea of respect, the idea of tardiness, that those were problematic. They were open to learn how to do it, but they did need some sort of instruction on how to teach the students. So as a committee, we developed a plan before the students arrived in the building for the fall to break the staff up into smaller groups where we gave them instructional packets, giving them ideas on how to implement in their classroom the different expectations. And I think by changing rules to expectations, by changing punishment to positive, those are two of the major things of doing the right thing in PBIS.
What happens in non-classroom areas of the school, we know that impacts other areas of the school. We know it impacts the classroom. We know it impacts the climate of the whole school. Typically, non-classroom areas are problems because we have unclear expectations, we don't have adequate procedures, we don't have a system of rewards or consequences that all the teachers can use. Most importantly, though, we have not taught the expectations to our students.
I'm the music teacher at Monroe School, and one of my responsibilities is to work in the hallway in the morning when children are waiting. And as part of the PBS committee, we identified that area as being very problematic, a place where kids manage to get themselves into trouble. And so we really took some time as a committee and examined what we could do to change the environment in our hallways in the morning to make it safer for kids and more efficient and just to have fewer discipline problems. And we decided that if we put some lines down on the floor that showed kids where to sit, If we moved them to a different hallway that was quieter and closer to the breakfast room, that would help. And then, of course, the most important component is to teach it to the kids. And the staff people and the homeroom teachers spent some time teaching those skills to the kids. We've just seen a remarkable change. Adults who come into our building say, you know, what a nice environment, what a great group of kids.
This is an example of our lesson plans. We use the same format for all areas. This one happens to be cafeteria. The PBS team worked and put these together, and it's really slick now that we're actually starting our third year, that they are already in place, and we just pull them out each fall as we review and teach. We also do a follow-up mid-year, and then our school ambassadors, which are students, follow up with our new students in teaching the expectations.
We've had a great beginning to our school year at Monroe, and I believe it's most credited to the fact that we've been a positive behavior support school we're in our third year at Monroe now. This is the third fall that we've taught our expectations the first few days of school. And today is our fourth day of school. And the first day of school, I walked out into the hallway, and kids at 8 o'clock were sitting in the hallway waiting for the bell to ring exactly the way we had taught them the year before. The first day of school in the cafeteria, kids did what they needed to do. They went in line the way they needed to. They exited the way they needed to. And just a very smooth first day of school because the kids knew what to do.
Hi, Maureen. Hi, Nancy. Good morning. Good morning. Hello, Carla. So, our meeting today is about making a plan for the cafeteria, a teaching plan. Yes, I have the copies of what we developed at our last staff meeting, what the teachers thought were appropriate.
So, with the matrix, I see we've got things for each set. Leave no trace, walk in the lunchroom, follow the directions. I think the most important pieces we need to teach to the kids are the leave no trace and walk safely through the lunchroom.
We're going to go ahead and talk about the common area plans that we have scheduled for this year so that we can gather the kids to do the teaching. And here's the schedule for the first couple days of school, and we put them on the
and
first
here's
day
the
of school. This
lunchroom, and then you're doing playground? Yes. Okay. And so, you know, if you can look at those, some of the things to point out that we've talked about before with kids. And what we want to do is show kids, talk about the expectations with the children in the area.
Well, as a new teacher, the steps to success, they affect us throughout our whole learning day. At the beginning of the year, we are taught the common area expectations. And so then as a teacher, as we travel throughout the building, we can ask the children to follow the steps to success by being safe in the hallways. In our classroom, we talk about following the steps of success by building community, being friends with one another. Are they caring for property? Are they being safe?
Virgil? Oh, well, Virgil. Try it again. You walk up to take your tray, put your spoon in the thing, walk over to the line.
Thank you for walking. You did a good job.
I've been here for 3 years. I have noticed improvement in behavior of the children. It's nice that staff that aren't in the classroom have the same language as teachers as far as the steps of success. If kids are being safe, we tell them you're being safe, or if you're not being safe, you're not being safe. And teachers and non-staff, they all know. The kids know that that's what we're talking about.
And watch me, and then we're going to do it together. When you go to the sink, you're going to turn on the water. Watch me. You're going to get 1 pump of soap, and you're going to wash it. 1 pump.
This is the way you're not supposed to act in class.
Now, today we're going to get started with our lesson, and it's mostly about the
You guys have a good
Civil War.
summer.
And children,
Let's
sit
see this on
down,
TV.
sit down.
I am a
Come on.
9 through 12 social studies instructor at CAM High School, and I am also one of the PBS coaches. This is our 4th year of PBS, and we have taught what we call the Cougar traits to our students. We have used various methods. The method we talked about or we used today was using seniors to talk to some of the lower kids. It's very critical that you get the right mix of kids. The kids that they're going to keep their respect and are respected in the school do a wonderful job. Your student council leaders, your football captains, the kids are very active in the school setting.
I am one of the coaches for the PBS team here at the high school. We started this process about 4 years ago. As the counselor, it has made the environment more stable for the at-risk kids. As a classroom teacher, it has cut down on disruptions in the classroom and more education is going on. It has made the school much more pleasant for visitors and families to come in. It has been a huge help for us. We spend the first day of school usually between an hour to 2 hours, depending on the type of activity we do to teach the traits, teaching the traits. And in office time, that has probably saved hundreds of hours in referrals. It has saved valuable class time because the kids are not getting sent out of class. It has just made everything more pleasant.
I can't imagine being a principal in a school that doesn't have it, especially a middle school where the students, it's such an important time for them to learn what's expected and to begin to mature into areas where they need to know how to behave in different situations.
Just keep in mind, and I'm going to go through some specific behaviors. Treat the bus as a classroom with maybe a little bit less or more relaxed atmosphere. All right? Anything you would not do in a classroom, don't do on the bus. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm.
One of the counselors and like a bunch of teachers, they just had like this big assembly where they were just running to class like, I'm here. And we were laughing at it because it's like the teachers are doing it, but then when we think about it, it's like, oh, well, we kind of do the same thing too. You're like, oh, well, you weren't in the threshold of the door. Like, no, but I was standing right there. I was right there, like, but your foot wasn't over it. So that was funny to me, and that really helped us too, because we were like, okay, now we see where the teacher is coming from this too, with everybody just being late.
1 period a day. We took, whether it was second period, let's say, on a Monday, every second period class took 15 minutes of their class time to role play a particular element of our program, of doing the right thing.
With the new freshmen, we organized the program where we got to show the freshmen how things work, the dress code, and how to be responsible, respectful.
In the hallway. To be respectful, what you would do in the hallway is you would smile and wave. Can everyone try that? Smile and wave when you see a friend in the hallway.
Hi, I love your pants.
Hey, we're both wearing dragon shirts.
I'll give me a call later.
Okay.
Okay. We have to read the book together, remember?
Okay.
How did we do, boys and girls?
Smile and wave.
Está aquí en mantente respetuoso. Voces calladas, saluden y sonrían.
Okay.
You have to be quiet in a line and walk single file line. And face forward. Well, we both be on the floor and You don't run in the classroom. You have to walk, pass things hand to hand, and supplies ready, and you have to be on time.
Okay. Students at this table, I want you to put your pencils down even if you're not finished and line up at the door quietly. Okay.
Okay.
Hey, where are you going? Uh-oh. When given a direction, look alive. Say okay and do it in 5.
You have to look the person in the eye and you say a greeting that is nice, just like Daniel said earlier. Millionaire.
When you get to school after breakfast, you walk in and stop and say good morning.
Very good. You have to stop and say good morning to all the people that you run into. And that's what makes a good greeting. This morning, many of you came into my classroom and showed me a great greeting. Today, I'd like to give Spencer. Great greeting today, Spencer. Come on up. Take your token. And let's give him a hand. Nice greeting today, Spencer. Thank you. You may go ahead and have a seat, and we'll attach that to your backpack a little bit later.
We have a high frequency way that we reward our students with using our Dragon Paws. I know you've probably seen teachers pass them out. And what they do is they pass them out to students that they see that are following the expectations that we have, our Lincoln Laws. And that would be the high frequency. You pass them out during the day, during the week, and we have a raffle on Friday, which would be our weekly raffle. And once we pull out one ticket for each grade level, that student is able to store one of our huge dragons. And we're talking like it's a huge dragon. The students know that when they pass the class and they see that the dragon is placed out in front of their classroom with a cool dragon paw. You gotta see this. A cool dragon paw. This lets the students know, oh my goodness, Mrs. Alvarez's class has been doing wonderful and they won the dragon paw for the week. And they get the story for the week, and that just lets everybody know that the students are following the rules, and it's all data driven. If we find that there's perhaps one area, perhaps the hallway we're having trouble with, there's a high frequency of kids coming in and out, obviously, and the kids perhaps are moving a little quickly, we have to make sure we get a cool tool that's going to make sure that we take care of that problem.
If you follow the steps to success, you earn God's ticket.
Well, the girls, when I give out the tickets, they are eager to get them, and they want to collect them, okay? And they're competitive. At first, the guys are kind of resistant. Oh, well, no, I don't want one of your tickets, you know? Or later on, when someone else gets them, then it's like later on, they're like, okay, can I have a ticket? So it takes the males a little while to get into this ticket thing. Or when they hear someone else got a ticket, or they go to the lunchroom and they see that someone is getting rewards from having tickets, then they want to collect them.
Each month, we get a report that shows how our students are doing in terms of number of office interventions. And this tracks from year to year, so we can compare yearly, and then we can also compare each month. In this graph, we're the purple, and you can see we have a significant drop each month. Not only can we look at it in that format, but we can actually look at our growth from year to year. This graph represents the number of office referrals per 100 students that have happened at Prescott over the last 4 years. And you can see we have a very steady decline in the number of office interventions that we have at our school. We pulled up the number of students who then were also entitled in the area of special education. And what's interesting, if you look at the graphs side by side, the trend, and as we decreased our number of office interventions, the number of students who have been identified for special education have also had that same kind of a decrease. So once we got behavior and the climate and culture attended to, kids were actually able to learn and be supported within the classroom without needing to have additional supports through special education.
JD was having a little behavior problem, so we had an assessment to put him in the goals to where he will get down to 1. He has made that goal. He's only doing 1 behavior program that's at the end of the day. As for Jasmine, she's doing wonderful. I haven't had no problems out of her since she started school this year. No shoving, no pushing, so she's been great. They've been great. I love Prescott. It's a good school. I like the environment it's in. I like the teachers, the principal. They're friendly. They're nice. It's just a nice environment. I like the behavior plans that they like to do for the kids, and it's working very great for Jasmine and JD both.
We did have, and in our first year, we have a graphic chart that we show, and our darker lines are much higher because we were a little slow in implementation. But as you can see, as the year went along, those lines became a little lower and were more effective. Our second year, as we worked with this and we included with the training and the students involved, was also very much involved. And we had problems on a specific date, but almost every month was much lower except our 2 months that we showed a spike going up there. And that was right after our spring vacation, and we needed to reteach and teach again.
In all my years in education, this is my 23rd year, this is probably the program that's had the greatest impact. So for me it's been great, personally, and so since I see the positive things in the school, I know it's been good for the rest of the people too. I think that one of the other areas that we've really improved in, thanks to PBIS, is our academic achievement. With No Child Left Behind, we actually feel that this has helped us to improve our scores, and so we had gone through a couple of years where we hadn't met adequate yearly progress, but actually now with the full-blown implementation of the universal program, we actually met adequate yearly progress through No Child Left Behind, so that's a great thing for all of us.
Everybody remembers? Everybody on this side remembers? All right, here we go. Here at Lincoln School, we have 3 dragon rules. Be responsible, safe, and respectful, and use your cool tools. Are you ready? Here we go. Here at Lincoln School, we have 3 dragons.